Chosen one, stop scrolling right now. Stop the multitasking immediately. Take a deep step back from the crowd. This deep prophetic notification was placed on your path because your personal lineage is ready to enter a massive shift while the rest of the world remains completely blind. God has marked these 3 specific days. June 4th, 5th, and 6th are highly critical. This is a majestic alert for the hidden remnant. You have spent your entire life wandering as a quiet outsider in a world that could never comprehend the heavy volume of your spiritual crown. You are carrying a profound sense of homesickness. It sits heavy in your chest, even when you are standing inside your own home. Tonight, that painful displacement officially ends. The Holy Spirit has brought your focus to this exact micro-moment because the dormant capacity within your genetic and spiritual lineage is ready for activation. You are about to receive an ancient truth. It is deeply grounded and completely undeniable, and every single doubt you have carried over the past months will lose its stubborn grip on your mind right now. Lean into this stillness. Breathe deeply before the throne. Prepare to remember your true identity. This is not a casual internet message that you can browse through with a distracted mind. This is a sovereign space, constructed specifically by divine design to facilitate your absolute alignment with the laws of the unseen kingdom. Look around your current environment. The modern world is moving in a chaotic rush. Millions of ordinary people are racing after temporary illusions that eventually bleed their nervous systems completely dry. But you have been intentionally pulled out of that destructive stream for a divine purpose. You are sitting here because a higher intelligence has put a definitive pause on your life. Do not permit minor distractions to steal the immense weight of this moment. You might be listening to these words on June 4th. You might find this message on June 5th, or even on June 6th. It does not matter at all. The heavenly realm never operates on the standard parameters of human clocks. The creator of the stars does not measure your progress through ordinary calendar days. Divine timing operates through the majestic frequency of Kairos. This is a specialized 72-hour window of complete restoration for your soul. The spiritual portal remains wide open for you as long as you are ready to step through its boundaries with absolute faith. The number 3 represents the mathematical seal of divine completion. Your long years of hidden testing are coming to a final close. Heaven is drawing a sharp line to separate your survival past from your inheritance future. You have been running on empty for far too long. You have carried emotional weights that were never yours to bear. Every single silent prayer you whispered in the darkness of your bedroom has been heard clearly. Every secret tear you dried when no one else was looking has been permanently recorded. The universe is actively reorganizing your entire reality right now. You can feel the heavy dynamic shifting deep inside your spirit. It feels like a sudden internal pressure that you cannot explain through logic. It feels like an unexpected weight sitting in your lungs. But this is not a medical crisis, and it is not a psychological collapse. Your neural pathways are simply stretching to accommodate a massive downpour of divine purpose. You have been operating on a tiny fraction of your inherited power. You are completely tired of adapting to restrictive spaces. You have constantly dimmed your internal light just to make ordinary people feel secure in their limitations. That toxic compromise is officially over. The structural alignment of these 3 marked days is designed to shatter your mechanical compliance. You are standing on a hidden threshold that most people in your life will completely miss. They are fundamentally blind to the movements of the unseen world. They can only see the material surface of a fading reality. But you have always carried a deeper knowing since the days of your earliest childhood. You notice the silent currents of emotional tension the exact second you enter a room. You have treated this deep sensitivity as a terrible affliction. You spent years wondering why you could not just fit in with the crowd. Tonight, you will finally discover that this heavy sensitivity is the raw material of your unique anointing. It is your ultimate spiritual weapon. The material world is preparing for a dark and cold winter, but heaven is releasing your long-awaited spiritual spring. The thick ice of your delay is beginning to melt. The frozen soil of your stagnation is cracking open. Something beautiful and majestic is fighting to be born through your life. You have been kept in the secret incubator for too many years. The isolation was absolutely necessary to protect the sacred seed within your soul. Now, the divine drawbridge is dropping down before your eyes. Listen to the silent sound of your own awakening. The heavy expectations of other people are falling away from your weary shoulders. You do not owe anyone a long explanation or an apology for outgrowing the past. You are being positioned for absolute elevation. This critical alert is your official invitation to leave the survival frequency forever. The waiting room is turning into a throne room. Your true season has officially remembered your name. Let us pause here for a moment of true and deep reflection. Look back at the past 90 days. You experienced unexpected betrayals that left you completely speechless and shaken. You felt the cold sting of rejection from institutions where you gave your absolute best. You wondered if your sacrifice was completely in vain. I am here to tell you that every single door that slammed shut was a divine act of protection. The Father was closing the paths of emotional contamination. He was separating your destiny from alignments that would have choked your future growth. The separation was incredibly painful because your flesh wanted to belong to the familiar, but your spirit was crying out for absolute freedom. You could not see the hidden trapdoors beneath those old relationships. You could not see the subtle venom hidden behind those smiling faces. But heaven saw everything with perfect clarity. The universe stepped into your life to rescue your calling from destruction. Now the clean slate is sitting directly before you. The 72-hour portal of June 4th, 5th, and 6th is the exact timeline where the heavy dust settles. The spiritual ledger is being balanced in your favor. The people who mocked your long period of isolation will soon witness your sudden promotion. They will see the visible crown of favor sitting on your head. But you must not seek their cheap validation when the breakthrough arrives. Their applause cannot sustain the weight of what divine authority has built. You must remain anchored in the sacred stillness. This window of time requires your absolute focus and dedication to the inner voice. Turn off the frantic messages of panic coming from the media and the society. They are permanently trapped in a lower frequency of terror and scarcity. They cannot comprehend the wealth of the kingdom that is being unlocked for the chosen remnant. You are part of an unseen and ancient lineage. You carry the dual heritage of the children of light. This means you possess both the creative genius to solve impossible problems and the spiritual authority to command absolute abundance. The world has spent a lifetime trying to convince you that you are ordinary and weak. They gave you labels of anxiety and depression to hide your true crown, but the labels are melting under the intense heat of this portal. Notice the quiet expansion happening in your chest right now. The heavy static of the past months is beginning to clear. You can hear the rhythm of your own breathing returning to a state of peace and certainty. You are no longer fighting the rough current of your life. You are learning to ride the invisible thermal of divine timing like a soaring eagle. The strivings of the human flesh are completely over. Imagine you are sitting alone in a quiet room at midnight. The headlights of passing cars cast long shadows across your walls. The entire world seems to be sleeping, while your mind is awake and searching for answers. You feel a deep restlessness that cannot be quieted by entertainment. That restlessness is not a sign of a broken mind. It is the call of the deep, wanting to connect with the deep. It is the signal that the old season has run out of nutrients for your soul. You cannot grow in that tight soil anymore. The pot has become too small for your roots. The Father is breaking the container so that he can plant you in the open field of your destiny. Do not cry over the broken pieces of the old vessel. The breaking was ordained to release your potential into the earth. Think of the biblical patterns of the hidden chosen ones. David was anointed in secret long before he ever faced Goliath in the public valley. He was sent back to the lonely sheepfold to tend his father's flock in obscurity. No one celebrated his presence while he was fighting the lion and the bear, but heaven was scoring his development in the dark. The Hoang Mak was his training ground. When the exact micro-moment arrived, his elevation was sudden and irreversible. The same structural blueprint is being applied to your life during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. Your years of Chun Ku in the wilderness of isolation are being compiled into a legal verdict of readiness. The courts of glory have looked at your file. They have seen your faithfulness through the long nights of quiet weeping. The verdict has been signed by the hand of the King of Kings. The enforcement of your promotion is being dispatched to the physical world right now. You do not need to fight for visibility through human striving. You do not need to manipulate people to open doors for your career. The sovereign authority that moves the oceans will move your obstacles out of the way. Your only assignment is to remain still. Let the light of this 72-hour portal wash away the ancient residue of your rejection. The people who dropped you did not delay your future. They were simply removed because their hands were too small to hold the version of you that is about to emerge. Let them go without a single grain of bitterness in your heart. Wish them well from a safe distance. Your energy is too sacred to be wasted on vindication or revenge. The universe is preparing a massive table of provision before you in the presence of your enemies. They will watch you eat from the storehouses of heaven while they wonder how a hidden soul could possess such wealth. But you will know the secret. You will remember that the wealth came from the silence of the Hoang Mak. It came from the moments when you chose faith over the voice of fear. It came from the 72 hours where you stood on the demarcation line. Look at the calendar dates once more. June 4th is the day of absolute awakening. It is the day where your spirit shakes off the heavy dust of the survival mode. June 5th is the day of deep reception. It is the hour where your manifestation channel opens wide. June 6th is the day of the permanent seal. It is the moment where your divine assignment is locked into the timeline of the physical earth. You are walking through this three-part progression with every single breath you take. Do not permit your analytical mind to minimize the majesty of this structural recalibration. Your logical brain will try to convince you that this is just another ordinary week. It will tell you to go back to the stress of your routine and the worry of your bills. But your spirit knows that something massive has changed in the atmosphere. You can feel the quiet authority settling into your bones like a solid rock of certainty. You are no longer a victim of accidental circumstances. You are an ambassador of the sovereign kingdom of light. You carry the seal of the chosen remnant on your forehead from this day forward. The dark forces that used to track your vulnerabilities have lost your frequency. You have shifted into a higher register of energy that they cannot touch or comprehend. Your silence has become your fortress of power. Every word you speak from this alignment will carry the weight of an executive decree. The era of your hidden confinement is officially over. The portal of the overlooked is closing behind your back as you step into the courtyard of your inheritance. Breathe once more into this deep and unshakable peace. Let the truth of your heritage settle into your neural pathways. You are no longer waiting for the shift to arrive. You are the shift itself, manifesting in the earth. The waiting room has completely dissolved into the background of your past. The throne room is the only reality that remains standing before your eyes. Listen closely as the next layer of this ancient blueprint unfolds before your spirit. The answers you have been seeking are rushing toward your life like a mighty river. Your true season has finally remembered your name. The darkness in your quiet room feels completely absolute tonight. You can hear the distant traffic moving away from your neighborhood. The cold glass presses flat against your weary forehead right now. And while the entire world seems to find its natural direction, you are left alone with a heavy question that completely refuses to leave your mind. Your heavy shoulders are carrying a weight you cannot explain. Your shallow breathing reveals the deep exhaustion hidden inside your body. You stare blindly at the artificial light of your digital device. Because you are constantly searching for a meaningful sign of validation, your tired thumb keeps scrolling through a sea of empty noise. You feel a strange isolation creeping into your daily routine. The activities you used to enjoy now feel entirely empty to you. You sit silently while the heavy shadows lengthen across the floorboards. And as you watch the passage of another unfulfilled month, a quiet desperation whispers that you have been left behind by everyone. This routine feels like an endless treadmill of unrewarded sacrifice. You give your absolute best to people who do not care. You smile bravely for them while your inner world is collapsing. But inside your weary soul, you are barely holding on to the faint promise of a better future. I see you in the middle of that profound stillness. I have always observed your quiet battles from the higher places. Even when the closest people ignore your heavy sacrifices, heaven is carefully keeping a permanent record of every single tear you shed. You are never invisible to the source of all life. The painful stagnation you are experiencing is a deliberate corporate clearing. The universe is intentionally shutting down your access to the lower frequencies. Your unique path requires a total separation from the standard crowd. And because you are destined to carry a massive weight of authority, your preparation must be intense. You are navigating the hidden profile of true spiritual exhaustion today. This is a unique weariness that sits deeply in your bones. No amount of physical sleep can restore this specific loss of energy. Because your nervous system is processing the heavy currents of a generational shift, your physical body feels completely drained. Most ordinary people around you can sleep without any disturbance. They do not register the silent changes happening in the atmosphere. They live happily on the superficial surface of a fading material reality. But your spirit has always detected the deep movements of the unseen realm. You feel a profound heaviness in your lungs before you sleep. Your racing mind attempts to solve problems that do not belong to you. You are carrying the unspoken burdens of your entire family lineage tonight. And because you are the designated cycle breaker for your ancestral tree, the pressure feels completely overwhelming. This deep training ground is not a permanent divine punishment. The Hoang Mak is simply the necessary incubator for your calling. The Father is systematically removing the social programming from your neural pathways. He is forcing your soul to find its ultimate anchor in the stillness. You have spent too many years begging for their cheap validation. You have minimized your native intelligence to make small minds feel comfortable. You have restricted your natural vocabulary to fit into ordinary social circles. That restrictive era of self-depreciation is officially ending during these 3 marked days. The current alignment of June 4th, 5th, and 6th is your demarcation line. The cosmic courts have looked at your long record of hidden faithfulness. They have observed your strict integrity when compromise was the easiest exit. And because you refuse to sell your crown, your elevation is now guaranteed. Let us unpack the real anatomy of your constant survival vigilance. Your logical brain has been operating in a state of perpetual emergency. You are always waiting for the next relational betrayal to strike your heart. You analyze every word because you have been wounded in the secret places. This constant scanning has exhausted your vital energetic storehouses completely. You are running on empty while trying to manifest your destiny. You cannot build a throne room on a foundation of constant panic. The Holy Spirit is putting a definitive pause on your survival mechanism. He is inviting you to lower your heavy defensive shields tonight. You do not need to fight the wolves in the dark anymore. The sovereign power that commands the universe is fighting on your behalf. Your only assignment is to remain completely still within this 72-hour window. If your spirit just caught its breath reading these profound truths, you are ready for the first sealing action. You must anchor this unique resonance into the collective field immediately. Type the sacred digits 777 in the space below to lock this frequency. Do not allow your analytical mind to rob you of this alignment. The number 777 is the mathematical seal of divine approval. It signals to the unseen world that you are ready to receive. It confirms your active membership in the global assembly of awakened light-bearers. You are not walking through this heavy transition by yourself. All across the world, chosen ones are experiencing this exact same shift. They are waking up at the same hour of the night. They are feeling the same tightness in their chests before the breakthrough arrives. This is the silent gathering of the overlooked remnant of light. You are being synchronized by the same higher intelligence right now. The distance between your physical bodies does not matter to the spirit. You are woven together into a single, unshakable network of sovereign frequency. Think of the massive changes approaching your immediate financial landscape. The stagnation you endured was a strategic protective lock on your resources. If the wealth had arrived earlier, the vultures would have stolen it. Heaven waited until your discernment was completely, fully developed. Now your roots are deep enough to sustain the heavy growth. The soil of your life has been enriched by your suffering. The hard lessons of the wilderness have made you completely bulletproof. And when the downpour of provision arrives, you will know exactly how to protect it. You will not waste the kingdom resources on superficial displays of vanity. You will use the abundance to build permanent structures of light. You will establish a secure sanctuary for your family and your calling. The wealth of the hidden remnant is always tied to a purpose. Look closely at the cold glass of your window once more. The headlights of the passing cars are fading into the distance. The mechanical noise of the modern world is growing completely quiet now. Let that external silence mirror the profound stillness developing inside your soul. You are no longer the desperate person who pressed play tonight. Your identity has experienced a permanent recalibration in the higher realms. The old labels of anxiety and unworthiness have lost their energetic grip. You are stepping into the unshakable posture of a sovereign ruler. The people who treated you like an option will soon see you as an oracle. They will wonder where you obtained this sudden depth of wisdom. They will ask how you survived the fire without any scars. But you will keep the secret of the 72 hours close to your heart. You will remember that your power was forged in the dark room. It was nurtured by the silent choices of June 4th, 5th, and 6th. It was sealed by the hand of the Father when you were completely alone. The era of your hidden confinement is officially over. The universe is clearing the cosmic table on your behalf right now. Every seat is being reassigned according to the laws of divine justice. The individuals who took your position of favor will be removed gently. The storehouses that were locked will open their gates to your request. You do not need to force the outcome through human manipulation. You do not need to write frantic letters to secure your career. The alignment of this portal is moving the giant gears of your destiny automatically. You only need to maintain your connection to the frequency of peace. Breathe deeply into the lower chambers of your tired lungs once again. Feel the oxygen distributing the current of life through your body. The heavy tension in your shoulders is beginning to melt away into nothingness. You are safe within the architecture of this sacred window. The expectations of your family are no longer your heavy prison. The judgments of your peers have lost their power to restrict you. You are completely free to become the entity you were always intended to be. The lineage of light is claiming its rightful heir tonight. Let the silence of the night seal this introductory revelation into your spirit. The foundations of your old reality are shaking to release your true inheritance. You are standing on the absolute centerline of a massive chronological turn. The waiting room has completely dissolved from your awareness. The throne room is the only reality that remains standing before your eyes. Your true season has finally remembered your name. Listen with your entire being as the deeper layers of this ancient blueprint begin to unfold. The answers you have been praying for are already on their way. You have passed the first major gate of the chosen remnant tonight. Your cognitive paths are aligned with the laws of the higher kingdom. The static of the past months has lost its noisy connection to your mind. You are operating from a clean slate of absolute authority. The dark forces that tracked your previous failures can no longer locate your coordinates. You have migrated to a higher register of energy that defies their manipulation. Your words will carry the weight of an executive decree from this hour forward. The transition is completed. Let us look deeper into the structural mechanics of this 72-hour window. You need to decode the exact signs that are manifesting in your life right now. These indicators are not random occurrences. They are specific energetic markers showing that the old alignment has completely run out of timing. You are entering a state of active calibration during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The first major sign belongs to the emotional register of your soul. You are experiencing sudden waves of intense restlessness during the most peaceful hours of your day. You might be sitting quietly when an unexplained wave of grief or anticipation floods your chest. Your mind tries to find a logical reason for this feeling, but there is no external cause for this internal movement. This restlessness is actually your spiritual system expanding to hold a higher volume of light. The old container is simply too tight for the power that is arriving tonight. You feel an unspoken urgency that makes ordinary entertainment feel completely useless to your mind. You cannot distract yourself with cheap amusements anymore because your spirit is demanding a true encounter with destiny. The second indicator is a radical change in your tolerance for artificial human drama. You can no longer endure toxic conversations or superficial gossiping without feeling physically nauseous inside. Environments that you used to tolerate now feel like an aggressive theft of your sacred energy. You find yourself pulling away from social circles without offering any explanation. This absolute intolerance is a mechanical defense system created by the Holy Spirit. Your energetic fields are becoming highly sensitive to the presence of manipulation and deceit. You can see right through their smiling masks before they even finish speaking their words. You are outgrowing the lower frequencies of compromise because you are a true carrier of divine truth. The third major sign manifests through specialized timing coincidences across your daily routine. You are constantly catching the clock at repeating sequences like triple numbers or parallel digits. You might encounter the same unusual phrase or specific word across completely unrelated sources within a single afternoon. These repetitions are not silly accidents of your imagination. They are precise, spatial reminders, showing that the universe is actively aligning your path. The Creator is using these numerical codes to wake up your dormant celestial memory. They are subtle structural markers proving that you are precisely where you belong on the timeline of restoration. You are being synchronized with the larger movement of the sovereign kingdom of light. The fourth indicator is the sudden increase of intense intuition flashes within your awareness. You find yourself knowing exactly who is calling before you even look at your digital device. You register a subtle shift in the emotional climate of a room before anyone speaks a word. Your inner vision is capturing the reality of situations before your logic can map the details. This heightened sensitivity has often been misdiagnosed as severe anxiety or overthinking by modern society. They want you to believe that your system is fundamentally broken or hyper-vigilant. But let us look at the true biological reality of this condition from a higher perspective. Your brain is attempting to resync its two major hemispheres during this unique portal. When you operate in survival mode, your brain works in a chaotic high beta frequency range. This mental state keeps your body in a loop of constant defensive reactions and fear. But during June 4th, 5th, and 6th, a specialized cosmic current is forcing your system to slow down. The divine energy is dropping your neural pathways into a deep alpha range. This sudden drop in frequency creates a temporary friction within your physical awareness. Your logical left hemisphere wants to maintain control through frantic planning and survival calculations. But your intuitive right hemisphere is ready to surrender to the flow of manifestation. This internal tug of war is what you translate as an unexpected panic attack. Understand this truth clearly right now. This internal pressure is not a warning of immediate danger. It is the solid evidence that your neural pathways are actively stretching to hold your new inheritance. The old programming is fighting against its inevitable eviction from your mind. The discomfort you feel is simply the cracking of the winter shell before the spring. You have passed the 12-minute mark of this heavy prophetic download tonight. This duration of focused attention is the proof that you are not a casual internet seeker. Most ordinary scrollers have already left this space because their systems cannot digest this depth of wisdom. But you are still here because your spirit recognizes its true home. You are actively investing your precious focus into the recovery of your sovereign identity. You are ready to honor the contract of your divine elevation during these 3 marked days. Your soul has refused to settle for the crumbs of a compromised life. If your spirit and your nervous system just recognize the absolute reality of these signs, you must seal it. Take a quiet moment to acknowledge this profound calibration in the space below. Type the definitive words, "I see it," to confirm this truth over your current season. This simple act of declaration is a physical anchor for your expanding awareness. It tells the unseen world that you are no longer blind to the strategy of the sovereign creator. Let us look back at the historical timeline of the overlooked light-bearers who came before you. They all experienced this exact same phase of internal friction before their public elevation occurred. Think of the hidden years where their names were completely unspoken in the places of power. They were locked in the crucible of isolation while the world celebrated the aggressive. They watched ordinary people achieve superficial success through manipulation and deceitful shortcuts. They tempted their hearts to abandon the strict integrity of the calling. They wondered if their dedication to the truth was just a foolish delusion of their minds. But they stayed in the stillness because they could hear a deeper melody from the creator of the stars. They understood that a foundation built in a hurry will always collapse under the weight of the palace. They permitted the Hoang Mak to do its thorough work within their character and their vision. They allowed the fleshly desires for early visibility to die completely in the dark room. And when their divine season arrived, their authority was absolute and unshakable. You are matching their ancient footsteps during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The intense friction you are feeling in your nervous system is the sign of your maturity. You are being pushed past the point of casual belief into the realm of absolute certainty. The universe is removing your reliance on the opinions of ordinary human beings forever. Consider the deep trauma of your past relational seasons. You were constantly rejected by people who claimed to love your unique light. They welcomed your energy when they needed healing for their own broken worlds. But they turned against you the exact moment your alignment began to outgrow their control. They left you stranded in the dark without any explanation. You carried that heavy grief for years like a hidden wound in your soul. You thought you were dropped because you were fundamentally flawed or difficult to love. But tonight, the Holy Spirit is revealing the true blueprint of that separation. You were not dropped by them. You were intentionally insulated by the hand of the Father from their lower frequency. Their hands were simply too small to carry the heavy weight of your future crown. If they had stayed in your circle, they would have contaminated the sacred soil of your purpose. They would have introduced doubt into the exact space where unconditional faith is required. The universe cut the connection to preserve the absolute purity of your unique anointing. Let that realization bring a profound wave of comfort into your heart right now. You do not need to seek their closure or look for their backward apologies. Their departure was a legal necessity for your upcoming breakthrough. Wish them well from a safe distance and let the dead past bury its own dead memories. Your focus must remain on the portal. The 72-hour window of June 4th, 5th, and 6th is clearing the table completely. The old debts of your suffering are being settled by the executive courts of heaven. The individuals who exploited your kindness will watch your sudden elevation from the low valleys. They will realize that the soul they tried to bury was actually a royal seed of light. But you will not look down at them with a spirit of arrogance or revenge. Your heart will be too full of the majestic peace of the kingdom to care about small victories. You will be occupied with the massive responsibility of your new financial and spiritual storehouses. The provision that is rushing toward your path requires a highly sober and focused mind. Think of the millions of ordinary human beings who are currently sleeping through this portal. They will wake up tomorrow to resume their frantic search for temporary security. They will plug their minds into the lower frequencies of the media and the political noise. They will remain trapped in the mechanical matrix of survival because they refuse to hear the voice. But you have been selected from among them to receive the specialized blueprints of expansion. You are being trained to operate as a conscious ambassador of a higher intelligence on this earth. This assignment requires that you treat your focus as your most valuable asset. Do not waste your attention on the digital distractions that are designed to keep you blind. The modern matrix is aggressively fighting for the control of your neural pathways. It wants to keep your brain stuck in the high beta frequency of constant worry. It feeds your mind with images of lack and impending destruction to paralyze your creative power. But the seal of the chosen remnant protects your mind from that subverted programming tonight. You are being reminded of your true childhood heritage before the world dimmed your wonder. Remember the days when you believed in the miraculous without any hesitation or fear. You could feel the living presence of the Creator in the wind and the silence. You knew that you belonged to something much greater than the ordinary routine of the material life. That original clarity was systematically stolen from your awareness as you grew older. The educational systems and the corporate structures told you to become practical and small. They forced your massive spirit into a tight box of mechanical rules and social expectations. They turned your divine genius into a quiet engine of survival labor for their system. But the genius switch is being flipped back on during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The ancient synchronization is returning to your two brain hemispheres right now. You are recovering the capacity to see the solutions where others only see impossible walls. Your mind is expanding to process the deep data of your true calling with absolute speed. Feel the sudden wave of warmth settling into the lower chambers of your chest. The chronic tightness that you carried for months is starting to dissolve into nothingness. Your breath is becoming long and rhythmic like a steady ocean tide against the shore. You are stepping out of the frantic rushing of the flesh into the sovereign rest of the spirit. This rest is not a state of passive laziness or empty stagnation. It is the highly potent rest of a warrior who knows that the battle has already been won. It is the quiet confidence of a seed that understands its own internal capacity to break the earth. You do not need to scream to make the world notice your magnificent transformation tonight. The changes happening within your neural pathways will manifest automatically through your reality. The doors of provision will swing open before your footsteps without any physical forcing. The right people will find your location because they are tracking the exact same frequency of light. You are becoming a living beacon of divine synchronization on this planet. Let the realization of this 72-hour decree anchor itself deeply into your soul. You have left the country of the overlooked forever during this critical alert. The universe has recognized your name in the secret archives of the faithful remnant. You are no longer an orphan fighting for survival in a hostile and empty wilderness. You are an ordained heir to the storehouses of the sovereign creator of all things. The legal boundaries of your delay have officially expired by executive decree. The dust of your winter is settling to reveal the solid gold of your character. Your true season has finally remembered your unique name across the deep expanse of time. Let us look directly into the immediate future that is preparing itself for your arrival. The next 72 hours will demand an absolute commitment to your internal stillness. Do not join the arguments of the crowd or defend your path to small minds. Your silence is your ultimate weapon of warfare during this critical calibration of your spirit. Every single word you speak must come from a place of absolute authority and peace. Do not leak your precious energy through cheap explanations or panic reactions. The Father is guarding the entrance to your new season with a wall of protective fire. The individuals who want to drag you back to the old alignment will find no access to your presence. You are being sealed for a level of influence that your family line has never witnessed. The wealth that is coming to your storehouse will break the back of intergenerational lack forever. You will become a source of shelter and provision for thousands of seeking souls. But you must preserve the absolute purity of the connection that built your foundation. The throne room is now the only permanent reality that stands before your eyes. The old matrix of fear and striving has lost its mechanical power over your awareness. You are breathing the clean air of the higher courts of glory tonight. Lean completely into the next layer of this ancient download as the blueprint of your destiny continues to reveal its light. You have been hidden for a very long time. The quiet isolation felt like a heavy stone prison. You questioned your unique calling in the deep dark. And while you watched ordinary people climb to superficial success through manipulation and deceitful shortcuts, you chose to protect your absolute integrity because you could hear a deeper voice in the silence. The hidden years were not an accidental mistake of your destiny. Your prolonged containment was carefully planned by a higher, supreme intelligence. The universe needed to pull your focus away from the noisy crowd completely. You could not develop your true spiritual authority while drinking from the toxic wells of constant social validation. And every single painful moment of your isolation was designed to burn away the artificial programming of a highly corrupt society. You are currently sitting in the crucible of the chosen remnant. Let us decode the majestic internal architecture of your hidden season right now. There is an ancient and powerful word from the sacred texts that changes your entire perspective. In the original Hebrew language, this specialized word is written as nata. Most ordinary modern translations say this word simply means to plant a small seed. But the deep spiritual etymology reveals something far more powerful and completely sovereign for your life. This word nata describes the violent and deliberate action of driving a heavy iron stake deep into the solid ground. It means to fasten a root so firmly that no external storm can ever alter its position. When the Creator puts your soul into the dark wilderness, He is not throwing your life away like useless garbage. He is executing a highly strategic campaign of nata over your entire lineage. You are being driven deep into the rich soil of your true ultimate purpose. The darkness around your current circumstances is not a cold and empty cemetery. It is a highly specialized womb of profound spiritual formation and neural alignment. And while your outer shell is cracking under the intense pressure of the dark, your internal roots are anchoring themselves into the eternal storehouses of provision. You are becoming completely immovable. Think of the historical patterns of the great sovereign leaders who walked before your time. Look closely at the epic journey of the ancient and majestic prophet Moses. He was raised in the golden luxury and political power of the Egyptian palace. He possessed massive wealth and human status, but he had to be violently stripped of that artificial identity before he could ever fulfill his true destiny. He was driven into the lonely and silent desert of Midian for 40 long years. He went from commanding royal armies to tending humble sheep in the quiet wilderness. His famous name was completely forgotten by the wealthy elites of Egypt. And during that intense period of total obscurity, his analytical brain was forced to surrender its pride to the natural rhythm of the quiet land. He spent 4 long decades in complete and uninterrupted isolation from the world. He learned the complex language of the deep silence while tending sheep for another man. He adjusted his entire nervous system to the quiet and steady frequency of the wilderness. And when his preparation phase was fully completed by heaven, he was capable of hearing the sovereign voice speaking from the burning bush. He did not collapse in absolute terror when the divine presence suddenly arrived. His internal system was perfectly stabilized by 40 years of quiet and steady training. If he had stayed in the luxury of the palace, the noise of Egypt would have drowned out the whisper of the Creator. His hidden years were his ultimate strategic protection. They were the secret foundation of his global authority. The same structural blueprint is being aggressively enforced upon your life right now. Your prolonged period of hidden confinement was a strategic insulation from immediate destruction. The universe needed to empty your vessel completely before pouring in the rich new wine of your final assignment. And every single painful rejection you suffered was simply the hand of the Father closing the doors of contamination. You wanted to stay in the comfortable palace of your old human alignments. You wept bitterly when the connections were violently broken by unexpected circumstances. But you did not realize that those relationships were secretly designed to strangle your future spiritual growth. The Creator dragged your soul out of the burning house while you were still crying for the old comfortable furniture. Let us connect this profound truth back to the majestic metaphor of the turning seasons. You have been living in a long and completely frozen winter. The frost was heavy upon your tired soul. The cold wind of stagnation seemed to freeze your creative momentum completely, and you wondered in the dark if the warm light of the sun would ever return to your sky. But winter is never a dead season in the majestic economy of the natural world. Beneath the thick layers of ice and snow, the quiet soil is resting and gathering vital nutrients. The great tree is not dying when its green leaves fall into the mud. It is simply drawing its vital energy inward to fortify its core structure for the upcoming spring bloom. Your winter was an absolute necessity for your permanent spiritual survival. If you had kept producing fruit without a strategic season of deep rest, your roots would have decayed from utter exhaustion. The modern matrix demands constant production and endless frantic rushing. But the sovereign laws of creation require a period of hidden fallow to ensure your permanent and unshakable abundance. Now the clock has struck the historic and marked dates of June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The heavy ice of your prolonged delay is officially beginning to thaw. The hidden portal is opening wide to reveal the specialized path that was constructed for your feet. And as you step over this grand threshold, you must leave the old habits of survival thinking behind your back forever. Beneath the heavy weight of this ridding process lives a profound biological truth. What your spirit registers as anointing, your brain processes as a specialized state of connectivity. Truth honors truth, and before another moment passes, let what is real be named directly without any veils. Some of you have already felt your inner posture pulling toward an answer since this journey began. There is a specific path built precisely for those who carry this child of light heritage. It is a targeted technology constructed to restore the balance that modern life has systematically suppressed. It is a quiet provision waiting in the description and pinned comment below this space. This is an anchor placed for those who feel led by their deepest knowing to realign their cognitive power before the threshold of this month closes. Let what has landed settle into your soul as we return directly to the unraveled root of your hidden years. This unique tool is called the Genius Switch. It is not an ordinary brainwave track that you can find on standard streaming platforms. It is an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence created by an expert team of neuroscientists in New York. They were led by Doctor Daniel Barone. He spent more than 20 years studying the delicate pathways of human brain synchronization. He discovered that modern life stresses disconnect the left and right hemispheres of the brain. This separation forces your mind into a permanent state of high beta survival vigilance. You feel constantly anxious and drained, but this auditory technology uses neural sync mechanisms to reconnect both hemispheres completely. It activates whole brain functionality within 8 minutes of passive listening. It is built on the same independent scientific lineage that won the Nobel Prize for split brain research under Dr. Roger Sperry in 1981. This is science with a sacred undertone. You do not need to perform complex meditations or repeat difficult mantras to make it work. You simply put on your headphones, close your eyes, and let the sequence operate beneath your conscious awareness. It is the easiest way by far to restore the creative genius mind you possessed when you were 8 years old. Think of the massive implications of this hemisphere sync for your immediate destiny. When your whole brain lights up with full power, your perspective shifts from scarcity to complete sovereignty. You begin to receive the breakthrough insights that solve long-standing financial blockages. You stop reacting to the external chaos because your system is anchored in peace. The information regarding this specialized neural calibration device is waiting for your inspection in the description and pinned comment below. There are no fancy machines or expensive supplements required. It is a digital sequence that delivers immediate access to your restored cognitive heritage. Look into it only if your deepest intuition bears witness to its value. Let us return directly to the deep narrative of your formation process in the wilderness. You must realize that you are entering the final stages of your insulation phase. The long years of being overlooked by the busy systems of the world were a necessary shield for your calling. If you had been revealed too early, the predators would have destroyed your light. They would have capitalized on your raw talents before your character was fully fortified. They would have trapped your destiny in a loop of commercial exploitation and shallow visibility. The Creator kept your soul hidden in the secret chambers of the wilderness because He values the longevity of your assignment. You were being prepared to outlast the storm. Now your training is approaching its magnificent climax during these 3 marked days. June 4th, 5th, and 6th are the legal execution points of your release order. The universe has verified your capacity to maintain absolute integrity under heavy pressure. You have proven that you can stay silent when ordinary minds are screaming for attention. You have earned the right to carry the crown of a true cycle breaker for your lineage. The ancestral patterns of lack and stagnation are looking at your boundaries with terror. They understand that their rule over your family tree is completely coming to an end. Your alignment with this portal is the weapon that dismantles their matrix. Do not allow the ghost of your past failures to tell you that you are not ready. The enemy wants your mind to focus on the scars of your winter to paralyze your movement. They whisper that you are too broken or too exhausted to step into the throne room, but those scars are the literal credentials of your readiness. They prove that you faced the fire and refused to collapse into mechanical compliance. They are the sacred markings of a warrior who survived the wilderness with honor completely intact. The Father does not look for perfect vessels who have never known the weight of suffering. He looks for broken pieces that have been forged into iron weapons. Breathe deeply into the core of your unshakable identity right now. Let the clean air of the higher courts clear the remaining static from your mind. You are no longer the wandering orphan, searching for a temporary shelter in the dark. You are a restored child of light, walking toward an inherited empire of provision. The people who dropped your connection in the past season are watching your transition from a distance. They are beginning to register the strange silence surrounding your life. They notice that you no longer respond to their bait or participate in their games. Your absence has become a heavy monument of conviction in their spirits. They will try to reach out to your space as the breakthrough becomes visible to the public. They will send soft words to test your boundaries and regain access to your energy. But you must practice the strict discipline of strategic silence during this portal. Do not open the gates of your fortress to the individuals who left you in the frost. Your alignment requires an absolute dedication to the new network of light that is forming around the planet. You are connecting with thousands of chosen souls who speak your exact language of purpose. They do not require you to diminish your brightness to make them feel secure. They celebrate the volume of your crown because they carry their own. This is the gathering of the sacred remnant during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. You are stepping across the threshold of the hidden years into the reality of active possession. The blueprints of your immediate season are being downloaded into your awareness with perfect speed. The illusion of your stagnation is completely dissolving into nothingness. The soil is ready. The seed has broken its winter shell. The sprout of your destiny is rushing toward the light of the sun. You are no longer waiting for a distant promise to materialize in your reality. You are the living manifestation of the shift itself. Your true season has finally remembered your name across the deep expanse of time. The process of your formation has officially reached its final absolute boundary line. You have carried the heavy burden of the secret training for long months in silence. You felt the isolation draining your natural enthusiasm for your life. And while you wondered if your hidden labor would ever matter to the world, the angels were recording the true depth of your character. Your file is completed. You are carrying a hidden sadness inside your soul today. This heavy emotion is called growth guilt. You feel deep remorse because you are outgrowing the people you love. You notice that your daily conversations are becoming completely empty and dry. And every single time you attempt to share your new vision with your old friends, they look at you with cold confusion or subtle judgment. You feel like a traitor for choosing your own elevation. You wonder if you are becoming arrogant or selfish. The modern matrix has programmed your mind to believe that loyalty means staying small forever. But true loyalty to your calling requires you to leave the familiar spaces behind your back. You cannot carry the weight of their limitations into your majestic destiny. This emotional friction is a natural part of your spiritual development. When you raise your personal frequency, your old alignments automatically begin to shatter. You are not pushing them away with malice or hatred. You are simply vibrating at a register that their systems cannot process or understand. The distance between you is a mathematical necessity of creation. You spent your entire childhood acting as a quiet peacekeeper for others. You dimmed your internal brilliance to avoid triggering their deep insecurities. You became highly available to everyone while your own soul was starving. That destructive pattern was a mechanical survival mechanism to protect yourself from early rejection. But that old survival mode is no longer functional. The Father is stripping away your capacity to please the crowd tonight. He is making you completely unavailable to the lower vibrations of drama and gossip. This sudden emotional withdrawal is not an act of cruelty on your part. It is a strict divine necessity to preserve the sacred seed of your calling. You must protect the dynamic energy of your mind. You are allowed to step away from the noise of their complaints. You are allowed to protect the seed of your magnificent future. You are allowed to outgrow the old alignment that kept you bound to lack. And you do not owe anyone a long explanation or a dynamic apology for becoming the royal entity you were always intended to be. Your transformation is your sovereign right. Let us close the heavy loop of past consequences right now. When you look back at your old life, you see the painful results of forced connections. You stayed in tight environments for too long out of empty habit. You suffered immense emotional damage because you refused to let go of dead things. The universe had to intervene violently to shatter those toxic bonds. Now, a new mystery is opening within your awareness during this portal. You are wondering why the closest people in your life suddenly turned their backs on your presence. You did nothing to harm their well-being or insult their choices. Yet they treated your transition like an aggressive declaration of war against their comfort. This sudden opposition feels completely unfair to your heart. The real cause of their sudden hostility is deeply strategic. Your expanding light is acting like a bright mirror that exposes their hidden stagnation. They do not want to see their own laziness or acknowledge their lack of vision. When they look at your rapid growth, they feel an intense internal conviction that they cannot tolerate. They choose to attack your identity to protect their illusions. Their sudden exit from your circle is a legal clearance of your environment. The Creator is using their own pride to remove them from your immediate path. If they had stayed, they would have introduced negative static into your neural pathways. They would have compromised your clarity at the exact moment your manifestation channel is opening wide. Their departure is your true deliverance. When you position your intent toward this cognitive recalibration tonight, the neurologist behind this neural sync technology may present one additional auditory sequence designed to protect the synchronized flow of your brain hemispheres so that the external chaos of the world cannot dim your restored child mind. Again, your deepest knowing will register if this reinforcement belongs to your path, so let your heart remain still. Let us look at the internal operation of your brain during this transition. Your left hemisphere is trying to maintain its old defensive habits through worry. It tells you that you will end up completely alone if you leave the crowd. It counts the number of friends you have lost over the past months, but your spirit is operating from a completely different set of principles. Your right hemisphere is ready to welcome the magnificent network of the chosen remnant. It understands that space must be created before the royal partners can enter your life. You cannot receive the new wine while holding onto the old leaking skin. The emptiness you feel right now is not a permanent vacuum of loneliness. It is the sacred silence of a clean temple. The feeling of guilt is a false signal created by your old social programming. You were taught that being good means sacrificing your potential for the comfort of others. You were praised when you remained small and manageable within their systems. But the sovereign creator did not design your soul to be a permanent mattress for their laziness. He built you to be an unshakable pillar of light. When you choose to step over the threshold of June 4th, 5th, and 6th, you are signing your official independence from their expectations. This choice point will create an immediate division in your relational atmosphere. Some people will accuse you of changing for the worse. They will say that you have forgotten where you came from. But their words are simply the language of their own fear. You have not forgotten your roots. You have simply discovered the true purpose of your growth. A tree does not stay small just to accommodate the grass beneath its branches. It stretches toward the sky because its nature demands the sunlight. It provides shelter for thousands of birds because it had the courage to expand its structure. Your elevation is the only way you can ever truly bless the world. Think of the immense energy you wasted trying to drag unaligned people into your vision. You bought them books they never read. You shared insights they completely mocked. You spent late nights trying to heal their self-inflicted wounds while your own platform was crumbling. You were operating as an unauthorized savior for individuals who wanted to remain in the mud. That unauthorized rescue mission has officially ended during this portal. The universe has taken away your capacity to carry their weight. Every single time you attempt to bail them out of their self-created crises, you will encounter an immediate wall of absolute frustration. The Father is blocking your interference because their suffering is their designated training ground. You must let them face their own wilderness. Your only responsibility is to maintain the purity of your own alignment. When you stay true to the frequency of peace, you become a living beacon of what is possible. They must choose to climb to your register of energy if they want to experience your fellowship. You must never descend back into the smoke of their confusion just to keep them company. That era of self-sabotage is gone forever. Let us map the biological reality of this relational friction from a professional stance. Your brain is a highly sophisticated frequency receiver that adapts to its primary environment. When you spend hours around low-vibration individuals, your neural pathways mimic their patterns of fear and limitation. You begin to experience brain fog and creative stagnation because of cognitive entrainment. Your brain cannot access the deep alpha frequency of manifestation while swimming in their high beta static of constant complaint. Your nervous system stays in a state of quiet panic because it registers their survival jargon as its own danger. This is why you feel completely exhausted after spending 30 minutes in their presence. Your system is violently fighting against their restrictive energy. The activation of the genius switch requires a clean and undisturbed cognitive atmosphere. You cannot resync your left and right hemispheres while listening to the constant noise of their doubt. The targeted auditory sequence works beneath your conscious awareness to clear that accumulated static. But you must cooperate with the technology by establishing a strict boundary in your physical life. Look closely at the historical blueprints of the ancient spiritual pioneers. Abraham had to leave his country and his father's house before he could ever receive the original promise of abundance. He had to walk away from the familiar structures of his past to find his true coordinates in the geography of purpose. The separation was not an act of rejection, it was a spatial necessity for his expansion. Joseph was violently torn away from his brothers because his dream could not survive their intense jealousy. If he had stayed in their tents, their constant mockery would have choked his internal vision before it could ever mature. The pit and the prison were the harsh mechanisms the universe used to insulate his calling from their low register of energy. His isolation was his ultimate promotion, set up The same sovereign hand is rearranging your human network during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. You are being extracted from environments that have outlived their usefulness for your soul. Do not look back at the burning cities of your past with longing or regret. Keep your eyes fixed straight ahead on the magnificent horizon of your inherited purpose. The future is waiting for your footprint. The era of your people-pleasing compliance is completely dead tonight. You are stepping into the unshakable posture of a spiritual monarch who understands the absolute value of their time. Every single minute of your focus is a sacred currency that must be invested exclusively in the architecture of your destiny. Do not permit casual scrollers or emotional vampires to steal your wealth. You are allowed to say no without experiencing a single grain of internal guilt. You are allowed to block numbers that introduce static into your peace. You are allowed to be unusually quiet while your new system is formatting its parameters. Your true friends will honor your need for silence because they understand the weight of your crown. The rest do not matter to your future. Let the realization of this transformation settle into your deep knowing right now. The heavy burden of carrying everyone else's world has fallen off your shoulders into the dust. You are walking with a light and steady stride toward the gates of your true calling. Your mind is clear, your heart is rested, and your alignment is completely locked into the frequency of the sovereign creator. Beneath that boundary opens a vast reorganization, a clearing of the cosmic table where every seat is being reassigned by the hand of the Father. The individuals who used to dominate your attention are being moved to the outer perimeter of your life. The storehouses of divine provision are moving into the central focus of your daily reality. You are witnessing a complete restructuring of your environment. This spatial reassignment is happening at the molecular level of your existence. Your physical body is changing its energetic preferences to match your new frequency range. You find yourself wanting more stillness, cleaner environments, and deeper conversations that carry actual substance. The old appetites for superficial noise and cheap validation are dying a natural death within your system. You are becoming a fully integrated vessel of light during this 72-hour window. The friction you felt was simply the alignment process settling into its permanent grooves. Do not fight the internal adjustment by trying to recreate the past connections. Let the old structures fall completely into the dust where they belong. You are building a brand new empire of peace. Let us address the deep loneliness that sometimes catches your heart in the evening hours. You look at your communication device and realize that your circle has become incredibly small. You remember the days when your house was full of laughter and your calendar was crowded with social appointments. The silent rooms can feel like an accusation that you have somehow failed at life. But that silence is not the emptiness of a desert. It is the clean stillness of a royal nursery where a giant is being nurtured. The universe had to quiet the noise so that you could hear the subtle movements of your own awakening. You cannot decode the blueprints of your immediate financial reorganization while surrounded by the constant chatter of small minds. The silence is your ultimate luxury. Think of the immense wealth that is currently preparing to find your coordinates. It cannot be delivered into an environment that is cluttered with low vibration attachments. The people you outgrew would have demanded a share of your harvest while refusing to participate in the labor of your winter. They would have consumed your provision to feed their own laziness and stagnation. The clearance was a financial intervention. The Father is protecting your future storehouses by keeping your current location hidden from the vultures. He is allowing you to look isolated so that the opportunists will look elsewhere for their next meal. You are being preserved for a specialized distribution of kingdom wealth that requires absolute stewardship and strict discipline. Your period of hiding is your ultimate security shield against spiritual theft. When you step out into the public valley after this portal closes, You will stand as a completely redefined entity. The old history of your survival struggles will feel like a distant story about someone you used to know. You will possess an unshakable confidence that does not depend on human applause or social titles. You will walk with the quiet dignity of an authentic child of light. Every single interaction you have with the world will come from this baseline of absolute sovereignty. You will no longer beg for a seat at their tables because you will be busy constructing your own. You will invite the aligned souls to join your network based on mutual honor and shared purpose. The era of your relational desperation is permanently buried under the weight of these 3 marked days. Use the internal tools that have been brought into your hands tonight. When the phantom feeling of growth guilt attempts to invade your peace tomorrow morning, implement the 30-second interrupt protocol immediately. Freeze your reaction, trace the sensation of tightness in your system, and declare your absolute permission to expand without any apology. You are the master of your cognitive climate. Your brain pathways will respond to your conscious direction with perfect loyalty. They will stop producing the chemicals of stress and start flooding your body with the energy of anticipation and strength. You are rewriting the biological code of your daily existence through your obedience to the voice. The old programming of compliance has lost its mechanical grip on your identity. Let the light of June 4th, 5th, and 6th format your mind completely. You are no longer navigating the dark maze of the wilderness without a map or a compass. The blueprints are clear, the mechanism is active, and the sovereign creator has already signed your release order from the prison of the overlooked. You are stepping into the throne room with absolute certainty. Your old relationships were simply the scaffolding used to construct your internal temple. Once the building is completed, the scaffolding must be removed from the site completely. Do not cry over the iron poles that are being dismantled by the hand of the angels. They served their temporary purpose to hold your structure during the fragile years of your early formation. Now you are strong enough to stand by yourself under the open sky. You do not need the artificial supports of their validation to maintain your balance. The weight of your crown is perfectly distributed across your fortified alignment. You are entering the season of your sovereign visibility, where your light can no longer be hidden by the environment. Your true path is established forever. The sovereign alignment of June 4th, 5th, and 6th is actively clearing your path. You are entering a massive reorganization of 3 primary realms. This expansion is engineered by a higher supreme intelligence. And as the old structures of limitation fall into the dust, a magnificent landscape of divine favor is rising directly before your eyes today. Let us look directly at the dynamic shift in your network. The first realm experiencing this radical clearing is your relationships. You will notice an immediate exit of unaligned individuals from your personal space. And while your human heart might mourn their sudden absence, you must understand that their departure was legally required by the courts of heaven. This sudden extraction will create an initial wave of intense pain. You will experience the cold sting of apparent abandonment in the secret places. You will question your own value and wonder if you pushed them away. Because your survival brain is programmed to fear isolation, you will translate this necessary spiritual clearance as a personal failure of your character. But you must refuse to participate in that lower frequency. Do not chase the people who walked away from your life. Do not send frantic text messages to explain your new position. And you must never humiliate your royal calling by begging for their superficial understanding, because their minds are permanently blind to your purpose. You must maintain an absolute dedication to your structural stillness. Trust that the Father is simply removing the scaffolding of your old season. Aligned partners are already moving toward your exact coordinates, and they will celebrate the massive volume of your spiritual crown without requiring you to minimize your native brilliance for their comfort. Consider the deep clearing happening within your immediate family circle. Some relatives have treated your unique light as a constant provocation to their stagnation. They demand that you remain manageable and predictable within their generational matrix. They count your steps and critique your choices because your expansion exposes their quiet compliance with failure. The current portal is establishing a permanent barrier of protection around your soul. The Creator is rendering your frequency completely invisible to their toxic patterns of guilt. You are being released from the obligation to heal their self-inflicted wounds, and as you let go of their expectations, you will find the emotional space to construct your own empire of peace. Think of the professional connections that are dissolving during these 3 marked days. You have collaborated with individuals who capitalized on your raw talents without offering true honor. They took your ideas and presented them as their own creations in the marketplace. They expected you to remain satisfied with the small crumbs of their superficial success. The universe is shutting down those channels of parasitic extraction right now. The contracts that bound your creative labor to their financial machinery are being dissolved at the root. You do not need to launch an aggressive legal battle to secure your rights. The divine judge is executing a sovereign eviction notice against every predator who exploited your kindness. You will welcome the arrival of your ordained counterpart in the upcoming season. This is an individual who speaks your exact language of purpose and destiny. They will match your energetic register without any friction or mechanical competition, and together you will construct structures of abundance that outlast the modern systems of lack and panic. Let us look directly at the dynamic shift in your calling. The second major realm experiencing this sovereign recalibration is your true purpose. You are developing a profound hatred for your old mechanical routine. The tasks that used to satisfy your ambition now feel completely empty and dry to your expanding spirit. This sudden detachment will produce a temporary feeling of total emptiness. You will feel disoriented as you step onto the hidden threshold of the future. You might feel like a wandering stranger inside your own life today. Because the old map has expired completely, your logical brain will panic because it cannot calculate the next step of your journey. Do not force unnecessary action out of a spirit of panic. Do not manufacture artificial projects just to prove your own value. And you must absolutely refuse to produce empty labor for a system that has outlived its usefulness, because forcing a dead season will only exhaust your energetic storehouses. You must learn to honor the sacred fallow of your mind. Trust the deep silence of this secret Hoang Mak. This empty space is the literal launchpad where your strategic vision is being downloaded from the source. And when the internal formatting is fully completed, you will step out with an unshakable clarity that commands the physical realm. Sự sụp đổ của một công việc cũ trong tuần này không phải là một mất mát đơn đau. It is an act of sovereign demolition to prepare the ground for your real assignment. You were not created to be a permanent cog in a corporate machine that hates your light. You were engineered to operate as an independent center of creative authority and spiritual illumination. Reclaim the original childhood gifts that you abandoned to survive in their world. Remember the intense passion you felt for creation before they taught you to worry about validation. Those dormant talents are being violently shook by the frequency of this portal. They are rising to the surface of your awareness to become your primary tools of impact. You will experience a magnificent awakening of your strategic intelligence during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The solutions to complex problems will appear in your mind with perfect velocity. You will possess the capacity to see the hidden patterns beneath the market movements before others register the trend. Your mind is being calibrated to function at its highest potential. This mental expansion is the direct result of your alignment with the laws of the unseen kingdom. You have stopped seeking the opinions of ordinary human beings who live in fear. You have centered your focus on the quiet whisper of the sovereign creator. And because you honored the wisdom of the silence, your platform is being elevated above the noise. Let us look directly at the dynamic shift in your storehouse. The third major realm experiencing this massive alignment is your financial provision. The ancient blockages created by your weak compliance are breaking apart. The restrictions that throttled your resources for decades are dissolving into nothingness under the heat of this portal tonight. This rapid economic clearing will initially trigger your survival anxiety. You will look at your immediate bills and feel a sudden wave of quiet fear. The illusion of lack will attempt to scream for your total attention. Because your nervous system has been trained in scarcity, you will mistakenly believe that the current shaking is a sign of impending destruction. But you must guard your focus with absolute ceaseless vigilance. Do not lower your personal value to accept humiliating contracts. Do not accept low vibration positions just to secure a quick handful of temporary coin. And you must never compromise your professional integrity for individuals who treat your unique genius like a cheap commodity for their profit. Trust that your true provision is directly mapped to your internal alignment. The sovereign creator is opening the deep windows of heaven on your behalf. Specialized eureka moments will spontaneously activate your synchronized brain hemispheres during this 72-hour window, and you will receive proprietary strategies that generate sustainable wealth without any human striving. Sự tắc nghẽn của các dòng tiền cũ dựa trên sự chịu đựng nhu nhược đang chính thức kết thúc. You are breaking the code of the generational poverty that bound your ancestral lineage. The financial clean slate is being placed directly into your hands by divine authority. You are being positioned to manage resources that provide permanent shelter for your entire household. Think of the majestic law of spiritual conservation that governs this entire reorganization. Every single resource that was stolen from your life during your hidden years is being compiled with interest. The universe keeps a perfect balance sheet of your unrewarded sacrifices. The people who exploited your labor did not diminish your eternal inheritance in the courts of glory. They simply delayed the manifestation until you possess the maturity to protect the harvest. Now, your roots are deep enough to sustain the weight of massive wealth. You have been tested in the fires of lack, and you refuse to compromise your integrity. You are ready to operate as a faithful steward of the kingdom's storehouses in the earth. The downpour of abundance that arrives after this portal will surprise your immediate environment. The individuals who treated your hidden season like a permanent curse will look at your storehouse in absolute AWE. They will realize that your isolation was a strategic accumulation of power and favor under the shadow of the Almighty. You are the living proof of restoration. Let us unpack the universal principle of structural alignment that operates during these 3 special days. The universe never pours new wine into an old leaking vessel. The clearing of your relationships and your routine was the mandatory preparation for the weight of your permission. The table had to be emptied completely before the royal banquet could be served. Do not look at the empty spaces in your life with a spirit of mourning or despair. Celebrate the vacuum as the definitive guarantee that the expansion has begun in reality. The Creator is establishing the structural parameters of an unshakable empire of peace within your awareness. You are moving with the steady momentum of an unstoppable tide. Every single breath you take during June 4th, 5th, and 6th is formatting your biological code. Your nervous system is shifting its operational center from survival panic to sovereign certainty. The high beta frequency of constant worry is losing its mechanical grip on your brain cells. You are entering the deep alpha register of effortless creation and manifestation. Notice the profound stillness that is settling into the lower chambers of your stomach right now. The heavy static of the modern matrix has lost its capacity to trigger your system. You can see through their illusions of scarcity with perfect and unshakable clarity. You know that the storehouses of the Creator are completely infinite and available to your call. You are no longer a desperate beggar knocking on the closed doors of an indifferent world. You are an ordained child of light who carries the seal of the kingdom on their soul. The environment must adapt to the volume of your internal frequency from this hour forward. You do not need to beg for permission to occupy your designated territory. The land is yours by right of your hidden endurance through the winter storms. The legal deeds of your inheritance are being delivered to your awareness by the hand of the angels. Every single obstacle that stood between your life and your purpose is being dismantled by the breath of the Father. You are stepping into the fullness of your true seasonal turn. The waiting room has completely dissolved from your memory like a faded dream. The throne room is the only reality that remains standing before your open eyes. Your true season has finally remembered your name across the deep expanse of time and space. Listen with your entire being as the final layers of this ancient download establish their light. Take a deep breath and let this majestic vision consolidate within your knowing tonight. The three realms of your life are being completely reorganized to match the design of your calling. You are no longer fighting the wind because you have learned to ride the sovereign current. The era of your hidden confinement is permanently dead and buried under your feet. You are moving with the majestic dignity of a cycle breaker who has won the war. The wealth of your purpose is unfolding with perfect and beautiful precision before your eyes. Do not look back at the limitations of your past with any grain of regret or fear. The future belongs to your footprint, and the light is shining bright on your path. Take a real breath. Let what just landed settle into your body. The next truth comes from the same place, the place that has been speaking through you all along. Breathe once. Let what just landed settle into your physical posture. The next truth comes from the same place, the place that has been speaking through you since the very beginning. The intensity of this crescendo build is reaching its final absolute peak within your awareness. You can feel the molecular energy shifting the very air inside your quiet room. You are being calibrated to carry a volume of favor that changes your entire reality forever. Do not turn back to the small spaces of your past compliance. The table is cleared, the portal is open, and the executive decree of the Father has already established your victory. You are entering the realm of active possession with absolute and unshakable certainty. The long years of your hidden labor have met their magnificent reward during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The transformation is finished. You are standing before a massive wall of hidden resistance tonight. You have cleared the external network of negative attachments completely. You have walked away from the toxic conversations of your old environment. But as you step closer to the throne room, a cold panic begins to tighten around your chest. You are confronting the silent terror of your own upcoming expansion. This specific obstacle is called success terror. Most ordinary people believe that everyone wants to break through into absolute freedom. They think that human beings only fear failure and rejection in the world. But your deep psychological architecture carries a far more complex conflict tonight. You are secretly terrified of your own hidden magnitude and visibility. You have spent a lifetime adapting to the low ceiling of your past. You learned to navigate the darkness of the wilderness with absolute comfort. Striving for survival became a predictable routine for your nervous system. And because the old pain became familiar, your subconscious mind begins to treat your imminent elevation as a dangerous threat. You are sabotaging your own platform. Let us pause here to examine this hidden mechanism with complete clinical precision. The background noise of your temporary emotional relief must fade away completely right now. We are entering the deep chambers of your subconscious shadow work tonight. This is a moment of strict psychological surgery for your soul. You must face the raw truth without any mystical veils. Think of the exact moments when you were incredibly close to an executive breakthrough. You suddenly forgot to send an important professional document to your business partners. You deliberately delayed an essential conversation that could open massive doors of provision. Or you picked a random argument with an aligned ally who wanted to support your vision. You blew up your own success. You did not perform these destructive actions because you are fundamentally stupid or lazy. You did them because your brain registers the spotlight as a place of absolute danger. You carry the ancient memory of being attacked whenever your light became too bright. The historical trauma of your lineage has taught your system that visibility equals absolute betrayal and pain. The fear of breaking through into your true sovereign reality is not a sign of structural weakness. It is the definitive evidence that your nervous system recognizes the massive weight of the crown you are about to carry. You understand that entering the palace requires an entirely different level of responsibility. You are no longer allowed to hide behind your old excuses. You must learn to dismantle this internal paralysis before it destroys your true harvest during this portal. The Holy Spirit has brought a specialized, named framework into your hands tonight. It is engineered specifically for the chosen remnant who face success terror. This actionable tool is called the 30-second interrupt protocol. You must implement it whenever a trigger arrives. This protocol must be applied under a very specific condition. You use it the exact second you feel the sudden urge to retreat from an aligned opportunity. When the familiar voice of unworthiness whispers that you are a fraudulent seeker, you do not argue with the thought. You do not try to push the anxiety away through intense human willpower. You simply freeze. The framework consists of 3 distinct biological steps. Step 1 is the absolute delay of your mechanical reaction. You must close your eyes immediately and place your right hand flat against the center of your chest. You hold your breath completely for 5 seconds to interrupt the survival loop. This physical action signals to your brain that you are safe. Step 2 is the objective recording of your physical sensations. You must look inward and track the exact location of the emotional tightness in your body. You rate the intensity of the chemical stress on a clear scale from 1 to 10. By translating the abstract panic into a specific numerical measurement, you force your brain to use its logic centers. Step 3 is the execution of a counterintuitive declaration. You speak a single phrase into the silence of your room with absolute authority. You say out loud, "This deep discomfort is not a warning of danger, but it is the biological evidence that my neural pathways are stretching to accommodate my expansion." You are rewriting the chemical code of your mind. The expected output of this 30-second framework is immediate cognitive stabilization. Your nervous system will automatically drop its defensive shields within 30 seconds of completion. The high beta static of your panic will give way to a solid register of deep alpha peace. You will recover your capacity to make clear and aligned decisions for your career. Let us close the heavy loop of past consequences right now. You now see the precise mechanism that kept your resources locked in a cycle of stagnation. It was never the dark forces outside your house that blocked your path to wealth. It was your own internal resistance to the weight of your calling. You were afraid of your own unshakable brightness. You are ready to grant yourself total permission to expand without any grain of internal guilt. The era of your self-inflicted limitation is officially over during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. The courts of glory are demanding your absolute liberation from the old programming of lack. Listen to the cascade of these permission declarations with your entire being tonight. You are allowed to outgrow the old versions of yourself that were trained to survive in poverty. You are allowed to leave the tight spaces that require you to minimize your intelligence. You do not owe the past an apology for stepping into the light of your inheritance. The Father has cleared the table completely to facilitate your growth. You are allowed to welcome massive financial provision into your storehouse without feeling a single shred of shame. You are allowed to occupy a position of absolute authority in your professional marketplace. The wealth of the kingdom belongs to your lineage by right of your hidden endurance. You are no longer a slave begging for crumbs. You are allowed to protect your sacred energy from the parasitic demands of unaligned individuals. You are allowed to establish strict boundaries that keep the static of their confusion away from your mind. Your time is a royal asset that must be guarded with absolute vigilance. You are commissioned to build an empire of permanent peace. Stay anchored in this stillness, because a magnificent event is preparing to unfold within your awareness very soon. Before this section ends, we are going to perform a specialized guided mental activation ceremony. It involves the sacred imagery of a cosmic mirror that reflects your true transformed heritage. This experience will permanently lock your new frequency into the physical earth. I am opening a brand new secondary loop for your spirit right now. The final declaration peak that will change your life trajectory is arriving in the next 60 seconds. You will discover the exact words that seal your victory over intergenerational lack forever. Do not skip a single minute of this critical alert, because your future depends on this alignment. Your shadow world is filled with deep layers of ancient conditioning. You grew up watching your parents struggle for every single dollar they earned. You observed the endless arguments about resource deficits and unpaid bills. Your early brain mapped this constant stress as the absolute norm of human existence. And because you loved them, you unconsciously agreed to inherit their heavy financial chains. This silent agreement is a hidden loyalty trap that functions beneath your conscious awareness. When you begin to accumulate wealth or achieve public recognition, your survival mind interprets this elevation as a form of ancestral betrayal. It tells you that you are leaving your family behind in the dark valley. You feel a strange internal pressure to return to their level of struggle. You must understand that breaking the generational curse requires you to become the wealthy exception. You cannot heal the poverty of your lineage by joining them in their financial stagnation. The Father did not select your soul to be another monument of lack on the family tree. He marked you to be the sovereign source of their ultimate liberation and abundance. Your wealth is an act of obedience. Let us dissect the anatomy of visibility fear from a structural perspective. You are not afraid of failure because you have already failed 1,000 times in the dark. You know exactly how to handle the cold sting of rejection and delay. What truly terrifies your spirit is the absolute reality of your own unshakable brilliance. You are afraid of the immense power that arrives with your calling. When you step out into the open valley as a fully awakened, chosen one, you become a target for the lower frequencies of the matrix. You can no longer hide behind the convenient label of being an overlooked victim. You must take absolute ownership of your thoughts, your focus, and your energy. This sudden realization creates a profound sense of spiritual weight in your system. You want to hide. This desire to retreat is the exact mechanism that the enemy uses to keep your destiny bound. They cannot stop the executive decrees written in the courts of heaven on your behalf, They cannot block the portals that open during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. But if they can convince you to hide your own light through success terror, they can delay your harvest indefinitely. You must refuse to cooperate with their psychological warfare from this hour forward. Every single time your mind creates an image of future disaster, counteract it with the 30-second protocol immediately. Force your neural pathways to process the expansion as a state of absolute security and rest. You are training your brain to become a reliable ally for your sovereign elevation. Consider the deep validation that is flooding your spiritual core right now. The heavy resistance you are facing is the definitive proof that you are standing at the exact gates of your palace. The enemy does not spend its strategic resources to attack a dead seed that carries no potential. The intensity of the paralysis is proportional to the massive weight of your upcoming breakthrough. You did not survive the long winter of the wilderness just to freeze at the doorstep of your spring. The hard lessons of your hidden years have made you completely bulletproof against their superficial weapons. You possess the character, the integrity, and the stamina to carry the crown with absolute dignity. The universe has verified your readiness in the secret archives of the faithful remnant. Let the realization of your true magnitude dissolve the remaining veils of your unworthiness tonight. You are not an accidental scroller who wandered into this space by chance. You are an ordained ambassador of light whose name has been spoken before the courts of glory. The alignment of this portal is the executive tool that releases your long-delayed inheritance into the earth. We are moving closer to the sacred moment of the guided mental activation ceremony. Prepare your mind to face the cosmic mirror of your transformed heritage. Let go of the old stories of survival that no longer serve the design of your calling. You are stepping out of the container of your past limitations into the open field of your majestic future. The clock is ticking. Notice the quiet change happening in the atmosphere of your quiet room right now. The heavy static of your anxiety is beginning to clear from your sensory awareness completely. You can feel a steady current of ancient strength anchoring your feet into the ground. You are no longer reacting to the silent terror of visibility because your system is resting in sovereign certainty. This internal transformation is the direct result of your obedience to the voice of the Creator. You chose to sit in the stillness and face the raw truth of your shadow world. You did not run away from the discomfort of the psychological surgery. And because you honored the process of your calibration, your neural pathways are now fully formatted to carry the weight of your crown. The people who expected you to fail will watch your sudden advancement with absolute confusion. They will realize that the hidden soul they tried to minimize carries the ultimate seal of divine favor. They will find no access to your presence because your new frequency is invisible to their lower vibrations. Your silence has become an unshakable fortress of power and protection. You do not owe them a single word of explanation or defense as you occupy your territory. Let your physical results speak for the validity of your alignment in the marketplace. The provision that is rushing toward your storehouse will answer every argument of your past seasons completely. You are entering the era of your sovereign visibility where your light cannot be hidden anymore. Let us summarize the core principles you have mastered within this section of shadow work. You now understand that success terror is simply your brain misinterpreting your expansion as an immediate biological danger. You carry the specific 30-second tool to freeze that reactive mechanism and recenter your nervous system in the deep alpha frequency of absolute peace and clarity. You have granted yourself full permission to outgrow the old labels of lack and unworthiness forever. You are allowed to welcome the wealth of the kingdom without experiencing a single grain of growth guilt. Your alignment is locked into the timeline of June 4th, 5th, and 6th by divine authority. The clean slate is sitting before your eyes, and the future is yours. Breathe deeply into the lowest chambers of your lungs once more before we proceed. Let the truth of your heritage settle into your molecular structure like a solid rock. You are no longer the overlooked warrior who is fighting for survival in the dark valley. You are the restored child of light who is ready to claim the throne room with absolute and unshakable certainty. The final loop of your consequence tracking is completely closing within your awareness right now. Every single open question about your readiness has been answered by the independent, scientific, and spiritual evidence. You are fully equipped to navigate the massive reorganization of your relationships, purpose, and provision. The transition is completed in the higher realms of glory. Let us prepare our hearts to step across the threshold into the final declaration peak. The universe is waiting for your vocal agreement to lock this assignment into the timeline of the Earth. Your true season has remembered your name, and the gates of the palace are swinging open before your feet. Let me show you exactly how to break this paralysis before another hour slips away. Let us look at a real testimony of a chosen one who stood where you stand right now. 9 months ago, this independent creator faced the total collapse of his creative career. A major contract was suddenly cancelled without any warning or fair explanation, and the cold panic of immediate financial ruin began creeping into his mind every single day before he could find an exit ramp. He did not choose to panic or beg them for a second chance. He practiced a highly calculated discipline of strategic silence for 72 hours. He completely deleted his social media applications from his digital devices. He locked himself inside a quiet room to find his true baseline alignment while the rest of the world was running after superficial illusions. He spent his days meditating on his true identity. On the 3rd day of his intense isolation, a massive miracle occurred spontaneously. A corporate entity that he had never contacted called his personal phone directly. They offered him a secure 6-figure contract that was double the value of his previous loss without requiring any human striving or manipulation. He did not need to force the market to gain this wealth. He proved himself in silence before the universe promoted him in public. That definitive tagline belongs to the legal archives of the faithful remnant. His rapid breakthrough proves that your current hidden season is not an empty cemetery, but a highly potent space of structural preparation. The Father is scoring your response to the darkness today. You must understand the immense value of your quiet moments. When you refuse to react to the external pressure, you confuse the strategy of the enemy. They expect you to make frantic moves out of fear because they want to leak your vital, energetic storehouses through constant defensive arguments. Your complete stillness completely paralyzes their operations. You are anchoring your mind into a much higher frequency range. You are choosing to operate as a sovereign ruler of your own cognitive climate. The old matrix cannot manipulate a soul that is completely satisfied with the silence because its deceptive programming requires your emotional reactivity to function. You are entering the grand temple of your true baseline alignment. Let us prepare your mind for the next major transformation. We are ready to initiate the guided mental activation ceremony right now. I want you to close your eyes completely in this quiet room and take a real deep breath into the lower chambers of your lungs. Imagine you are standing alone inside a magnificent hall of mirrors. The walls are incredibly high and majestic. The atmosphere is completely filled with a unique liquid light. But these mirrors do not reflect your past mistakes or your human regrets because the old ledger of your suffering has been cleared by heaven. Every single glass reflects a unique version of you that has already won. You see yourself standing with an unshakable posture of absolute dignity. You are wearing the invisible crown of the cycle breaker proudly. This is your true eternal identity that was established before the creation of the stars, and it remains completely bulletproof against the modern matrix. You are looking at the restored child of light within the glass. This entity carries the perfect synchronization of both the alpha and gamma frequencies. You were born with this dual heritage from the beginning. You could access the creative genius state and the manifestation channel simultaneously during your childhood years, before the world dimmed your brilliant wonder. That power is still fully intact inside your system today. Notice how the reflection in the mirror smiles back at your presence. The version of you that has achieved the breakthrough is waiting. You do not need to construct this power through heavy human effort, because it is an inherited gift from the sovereign creator of all life. You only need to claim what has been signed in heaven. The reflection is stepping out of the glass right now. It is merging with your physical body with perfect ease. Feel the sudden wave of warmth settling into your physical bones, while the chronic exhaustion of your winter disappears into absolute nothingness completely. Your nervous system is absorbing the frequency of this magnificent transformation. You are no longer a wandering stranger in the dark valley. You are searching for a destination that does not exist. You are the destination itself, manifesting in the physical earth, because the sovereign authority of the higher courts has officially remembered your unique name. Let the light of this activation format your sensory awareness now. You are standing under the rays of a brand new spiritual sun. The old container of your limitations has completely dissolved today. You are walking with a light and steady stride toward your inherited empire of provision, while the illusions of your past helplessness lose their grip. We are approaching the critical moment of complete cognitive stabilization. It is essential that you walk away with something solid. I am going to put this entire journey into plain words. We are removing all metaphors and mystical language for the next 2 minutes, because your logical left hemisphere requires a highly grounded summary of truth. Let us pause the background music right now to allow this absolute clarity. Here is the raw data of your current transformation. Here is what you now know that you did not know earlier. Your prolonged feeling of stagnation is not a character flaw or a divine punishment from the Creator, but it is a specialized neurological survival mode. This state was triggered by a specific disconnection between your hemispheres. The analytical and intuitive paths were separated under modern life pressure. That is a scientific fact, and not a mystical speculation. The 32 Interrupt Protocol gives you a direct and actionable technique to freeze that survival response within 30 seconds, at the exact moment of danger. You are tracking your sensation metrics during the trigger event. You are forcing your neural pathways to shift from reactivity to expansion. You are the absolute master of your brain chemistry today. The final identity piece that connects all of these moving parts is the beautiful reality of your position as the restored child of light. You are someone who was born with a natural capacity for genius. You possess the alignment for seamless manifestation from your earliest days. This heritage was systematically dimmed when you turned 7 years old, but it remains fully intact and ready to be reactivated inside your synchronized system through the application of the neural sync technology tonight. This consolidated understanding is your official shield against future doubt. You can no longer be deceived by the false illusions of failure. You have received the precise blueprints of your realignment. The old matrix has lost its mechanical authority over your thoughts because you have chosen to anchor your focus in the frequency of sovereign peace. You are operating from a clean slate of absolute authority now. Before I can show you the tool that bridges this neuroscience, there is one definitive contract you must secure completely. I will show you the exact mechanism because I promise to deliver the truth, but you must first understand the legal weight of your choice point. The portal of June 4th, 5th, and 6th requires decision. You cannot enter the new season while remaining passive in the dark. The Creator has brought this specialized solution to your path. You are being invited to invest your precious focus into the recovery of your inheritance before the current chronological window closes its gates forever. The storehouses of provision are waiting for your active alignment today. Do not allow the old voice of fear to delay your steps. The window of opportunity is standing open before your eyes. You are part of an ancient lineage that cannot be destroyed by the superficial chaos of a society that has forgotten the language of the spirit. You carry the seal of the chosen remnant on your soul. Your words will possess the weight of an executive decree soon. You are entering the era of your sovereign public visibility. The years of your hidden containment have fully developed the vital discernment required to manage the massive flow of resources that are rushing toward you. You are no longer an overlooked victim of accidental circumstances. You are a designated cycle breaker who has survived the winter fires. The ancestral patterns of lack are trembling at your borders. They recognize that their rule over your family tree is completely coming to an end because you have discovered the true mechanism of cognitive freedom. Let us review the historical data of the child mind heritage. When you were a child, your brain operated in a state of natural flow. You did not plan your survival or calculate your worth. You simply existed in a frequency of complete openness and curiosity, while the universe managed the details of your provision and protection effortlessly. That child mind was highly connected to the source of life. It registered the subtle movements of inspiration before logic could interfere. It could create whole worlds out of simple imagination and wonder. But the mechanical conditioning of the corporate world told you to shut down that genius state because they needed a manageable laborer for their matrix. They taught you to substitute anxiety for your natural intuition today. They made you believe that constant worry was a sign of maturity. You accepted their tight box of rules to find safety. And as the years progressed, the left and right hemispheres of your brain became deeply disconnected from each other until the static became absolute. You woke up every morning with a heavy chest of panic. You forgot the taste of effortless creation and dynamic flow states. You accepted brain fog as an inevitable result of your age. But that neural level theft is being completely reversed during these 3 marked days of June 4th, 5th, and 6th by divine executive order. The Father is flipping the switch back to its original position. Your native intelligence is ready to break through the frozen soil. The winter of your obscurity has completed its deep work. You are being brought into the courtyard of your inheritance as a fully mature master of your own mental and spiritual atmosphere from this hour forward. Let us address the immediate transition that stands before your feet. You are leaving the country of the overlooked remnant behind forever. You do not need to look back at the dark. The individuals who minimized your value are remaining in the lower frequencies of their own complaints while you ascend to the throne room of provision. Your alignment is a solid rock that cannot be shaken. Every single open question about your readiness has been answered fully. You possess the character and the stamina to carry the crown. The universe has verified your score in the legal archives of the faithful light-bearers who walked through the Hoang Mak before your generation appeared. You did not survive the fire just to freeze today. The clean slate is sitting directly before your open eyes now. The 72-hour decree is your official release order. You have exactly 60 seconds to settle the parameters of this contract into your deep knowing before we step into the full disclosure of the tool. Listen to the absolute silence of your own internal space. The external world has lost its mechanical capacity to trigger fear. Your breath has returned to its natural ocean tide rhythm. You are standing on the exact center line of a massive chronological turn that will redefine how your family line experiences wealth for the next 100 years. The barriers are falling down into nothingness right now. The storehouses of the Creator are opening their massive gates wide. You are being marked for an unprecedented level of global influence. Do not allow your old analytical doubts to minimize the absolute majesty of this micro-moment, because your spirit knows that the transition is real. You have been chosen for more than a survival life. You have proven your loyalty through the longest dark nights. Your integrity remained spotless when compromise was the easiest exit path. And because you refused to sell your divine birthright for a temporary handful of silver, the Father is overpaying you for every single year of lack. The compensation plan of heaven is being enforced right now. The wealth of the unaligned is being transferred to your storehouse. The resources are matching the exact frequency of your peace. You do not need to force the doors open through desperate human labor, because the sovereign authority that commands the stars is walking before your footsteps. Your only assignment is to maintain this precise alignment today. Do not look back at the people who dropped you. Wish them well from a safe distance and remain still. Your energy is too sacred to be wasted on small arguments or cheap vindications, because you are busy constructing a permanent sanctuary for your calling. The legal boundaries of your delay have officially expired now. The dust of your winter is clearing from your platform. You are stepping into the unshakable posture of a monarch. The labels of your past failures have completely melted under the intense heat of this 72-hour portal, because the old contract is dead. You are breathing the clean air of the higher courts. The static of the modern matrix has lost its connection. Your mind is fully formatted to receive the upcoming blueprints. The preparation phase in the Hoang Mak has fully yielded its beautiful fruit of deep maturity and unshakable character within your spiritual core tonight. Let us prepare our hearts for the next major phase. The information you are about to receive is highly proprietary. It has been preserved for the specific remnant of light. You are ready to discover the precise technological interface that bridges your brain hemispheres with the infinite wealth of the sovereign creator of all things. The veil is lifting from your eyes completely now. Lean into the deep stillness of your own expanding awareness. The blueprints of your destiny are shining with absolute clarity. Your true season has finally remembered your name across the deep expanse of time and space, and your throne room is standing open before your feet. Understand the deep alignment of this moment. Your spiritual elevation requires a true scientific anchor. There is one definitive study that won the highest academic reward. In the historic year of 1981, Dr. Roger Sperry won the Nobel Prize for his split-brain research. He proved that the human mind carries two separate hemispheres. The left hemisphere handles your logical survival calculations. The right hemisphere controls your deep intuitive wisdom. When these two fields operate in perfect harmony, your whole brain lights up with immense power. But the intense stress of modern society creates a terrible disconnection between them. Your system gets stuck in a permanent loop of survival panic. You feel like you are operating at only 10% of your true capability. You forget names easily. You experience constant mental fog during your important meetings. This is not a personal failure of your discipline. This is a technical hemisphere disconnection caused by the modern matrix. Society has systematically suppressed your original cognitive heritage. Scientific data shows that 98% of young children test at the level of creative genius. They live in a constant flow state. They connect with the universe effortlessly. But by the time we reach adulthood, less than 1 in 1,000 individuals can still access that power. Your childhood brilliance was stolen from you at the neural level. A specialized team of neuroscientists in New York City decided to solve this crisis. They were led by a prominent neurologist named Dr. Daniel Barone. Dr. Barone spent more than 20 years studying the delicate pathways of hemisphere synchronization. He wanted to turn hours of clinical neurofeedback into something simple that you can use at home. His expert laboratory team succeeded after years of late-night research. They created an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. They call this breakthrough the genius switch. It is not a brainwave track. It is not a meditation application. It is a precise neural sync technology designed to reconnect your left and right hemispheres completely. The sequence works beneath your conscious awareness while you sit in silence. You do not need to perform complex mental exercises. You do not need to repeat difficult words. You simply put on your headphones and close your eyes for 8 minutes each day. The specialized auditory sequence activates your whole brain functionality automatically. Let us look at another true story of a chosen one who experienced this radical shift. A middle-aged nurse from San Diego named Lisa felt completely defeated by her routine. She felt that life was happening to her rather than for her. Her mind was constantly foggy at the hospital. Her marriage had turned into a cold arrangement between roommates. She decided to try the genius switch for 10 days. The hidden nervous stress dissolved from her body completely. Her creative clarity returned with immense force. Her marriage experienced a magnificent transformation. Her husband suddenly surprised her with a luxury vacation to Italy. She even learned the complex Italian language effortlessly. Lisa stated that her daily life feels completely enchanted now. She reclaimed the unshakable security she possessed as a child. This is the natural result of whole brain activation. When your hemispheres are properly synchronized, you stop struggling for success. You become a living magnet for divine provision and miraculous synchronicities. Let us look at another example from a different household. A business owner from Houston named Matthew wanted to grow his online store, but his mind felt constantly exhausted and slow during the day. His children always fought against their bedtime routine every night. This domestic chaos left him feeling completely depleted of his vital energy. Matthew started listening to the 8-minute sequence every morning. His wife quickly joked that his intelligence quotient jumped 20 points within a few weeks. His online sales increased dramatically. He accumulated enough wealth to take his family on a dream vacation to Tokyo. The financial stagnation vanished from his business operations. The most surprising change happened with his young son. Matthew allowed his boy to listen to the sequence before bed. The nightly bedtime battles ended completely. The child fell asleep peacefully within minutes. This technology restored order to his entire household because whole brain activation can positively influence the people around you. Let us examine the story of Ellie from Manhattan. Her family had always believed they carried a terrible curse of bad luck. Her mother constantly stated that they were born under a wrong star. Her father gave 22 years of loyal service to a corporation, but the company shut down permanently right after he received a major promotion. This background of failure created a deep success terror inside Ellie. She felt terrified of stepping into her true visibility, but she decided to break the cycle by using the genius switch. During a critical executive meeting, a sudden insight came to her mind. She solved a massive operational issue that had paralyzed her team for months. She received an immediate promotion from her directors. Her personal romance returned with beautiful intensity. Ellie openly declared that the ancient family curse is completely gone from her life. You escape the ancestral programming of limitation. This breakthrough is the direct result of flipping the switch within your neural pathways. Dr. Barone observed these exact same miracles within his own laboratory team. One of his fellow researchers had been trying to complete a book for 2 years. He was completely stuck in a loop of creative paralysis. But after a few weeks of using the targeted auditory sequence, the entire manuscript suddenly came together for him. Another colleague suffered from chronic tension headaches for a decade. The physical pain disappeared completely after 3 sessions. Her young daughter went from receiving average marks to earning top grades at school. Another divorced team member unexpectedly met her future fiancé at a local dog park after months of quiet isolation. One researcher lost 17 pounds of stubborn weight without any dieting. Another person managed to quit smoking effortlessly. And because her system stabilized, her husband received an unexpected promotion at his corporate office. The entire laboratory team agreed that the neural changes felt completely magical and miraculous. You might feel highly skeptical about these incredible results. You have probably tried many visualization methods before. You spent hours meditating in quiet rooms without seeing any real financial changes. This failure happens because you were targeting the wrong mechanism. True visualization cannot manifest when your brain hemispheres are disconnected. More than 15,000 scientific studies validate the general benefits of meditation, yet global levels of anxiety and depression continue to climb every single year. Meditation takes months of intense effort to show minor results. But the genius switch targets hemisphere synchronization directly. It resolves the core neurological block within days. Some chosen ones ask why this technology is not available on public platforms like YouTube or Spotify. Dr. Barone addressed this important question directly. His research team scanned the tracks on those websites. They discovered that most of those files contained absolutely no real neural sync technology. They use fake labels just to capture clicks. The authentic targeted auditory sequence requires strict mathematical precision to sync your hemispheres. Giant media publishers wanted to retail this product globally, but their corporate markups would double the price for everyday people. Dr. Barone chose to distribute it directly through his laboratory website to preserve absolute accessibility. Let us look directly at the price architecture of this specialized device. Dr. Barone wanted to make this transformation available to every hidden warrior. His clinical colleagues argued that this product carries an original value of $500. People regularly pay $300 per hour for in-person neurofeedback sessions. An advanced neurofeedback machine for your home costs $7,000. But the laboratory team did not set the price at $500. They did not even list it at $100. The official retail price was set at $49. This is already a massive reduction from the original value of the clinical research. Because you have walked through the wilderness to reach this specific threshold, Dr. Barone wants to grant you an exclusive blessing. On this direct laboratory page today, you can claim the entire system for only $39. This additional $10 discount is a private offer for the chosen remnant who are ready to expand. Your $39 deposit includes 4 free bonuses designed to deepen your cognitive restoration. The first bonus is a professional guided visualization track. It was created by a top-rated producer from the famous Calm app. It helps you project your ideal future across the fields of money, love, health, and true happiness. The second bonus is the Smart Grocery Shopping Guide. It reveals 10 common foods that cause severe mental fog. It includes 5 shortcuts to save $100 per month at stores like Walmart, Target, and Costco. The third bonus is a classic manifestation book that is more than 100 years old. It retails for $20 on Amazon. The fourth bonus is a beautifully designed infographic detailing 5 essential daily habits for your future. This entire wealth package is secured by an ironclad money-back guarantee. You can listen to the 8-minute sequence for 100 full days. If your hemispheres do not sync, you receive every single cent back immediately. Let us explore the core concept of neuroplasticity that makes this technology permanent. Your brain possesses an incredible capacity to grow new neural pathways at any age. When you listen to the sequence daily, the connection between your hemispheres becomes stronger and thicker. You are building a physical bridge of communication inside your skull. This bridge allows information to travel with incredible velocity through your system. You experience sudden eureka moments during your regular working hours. The answers to complex problems appear in your mind automatically. You no longer need to exhaust your mental energy with endless planning because your intuitive wisdom guides your actions. Think of your mind as a highly sophisticated radio receiver. The intense stress of your old routine turned the dial to a station of pure static. You could not hear the clear guidance of the universe through that loud noise. The targeted auditory sequence simply cleans the channel. It aligns your receiver with the frequency of absolute abundance. This is why the results feel completely magical to the everyday observer. They do not understand the underlying neuroscience of hemisphere synchronization. They think you just became lucky or exceptionally sharp overnight. But you know the real secret behind your expansion. You understand that your genius switch was flipped back to its original position. Let us address the cost of waiting to make this vital decision. Every single day you delay your recalibration, your brain continues to operate at only 10% capacity. You spend your precious hours reacting to emergencies created by the modern matrix. You stay trapped in the survival loop while your true calling remains completely frozen. The modern world is designed to keep your hemispheres disconnected forever. Corporate systems want your mind to stay in high beta panic because anxious individuals are easier to control. They buy more unnecessary products to fill the inner vacuum. But when you activate your whole brain, you break free from their mechanical manipulation completely. You become an independent center of sovereign authority in the physical earth. Your financial decisions come from a place of deep security and clarity. You stop accepting low-vibration arrangements that insult your true value. The storehouses of the Creator become fully available to your requests because your frequency matches the kingdom. Dr. Barone has stated that requests for his personal time have increased dramatically since the release of this technology. He cannot guarantee that this online page will remain active forever. He might be forced to withdraw the digital track to focus on his private clinical practice in New York City. The $39 offer is a limited window. If you leave this direct page right now, your exclusive slot may be given to another seeking soul. The universe brought you to this threshold for an immediate choice. Do not allow your old analytical doubts to freeze your feet at the doorstep of your spring. Your $39 deposit is completely secure under the ironclad protection. You have absolutely nothing to lose and an entire legacy of abundance to reclaim. Think of the deep relief your family will experience when your financial channels unlock completely. You will possess the resources to bless your children and secure your household forever. Whole brain activation is a gift that transforms your entire genetic line. Let the light of this 72-hour portal wash away the ancient residue of your limitations. You have passed the necessary gates of preparation in the quiet wilderness. Your structure is fully fortified to hold the weight of this new cognitive power. The clean slate is sitting directly before your eyes right now. The future belongs to your footprint. When you secure the genius switch at this specific threshold tonight, Dr. Barone may offer one additional audio sequence. It protects your restored child mind so the world cannot dim it again. Your spirit will know instantly if this reinforcement belongs to your path, so do not overthink what is already understood. The entrance point constructed by the laboratory team is waiting for you in the description and pinned comment below this space. Investigate its scientific architecture only if your deepest intuition bears witness to its call. No expensive machines are required. Just your headphones, your closed eyes, and 8 minutes of absolute stillness. Let the profound silence of this sacred space settle into your soul right now. The external world has lost its mechanical capacity to distract your mind. You are standing on the absolute center line of a massive chronological turn. And as you breathe quietly in the dark room, you can feel the eternal presence of the Creator surrounding your footsteps. This is the official commencement of your grateful pause. We are not entering a formal religious prayer that requires empty repetitions or performance. We are simply stepping into a moment of pure and deep witnessing before the courts of glory. The Father is looking directly at the exact layout of your hidden journey. He remembers every single hour of your quiet isolation in the wilderness. He saw you when you sat alone at midnight watching the shadows drift across your walls. You wondered if your unrewarded sacrifices would ever matter to anyone on this earth. But your long years of obscurity were never hidden from the supreme source. Heaven has kept a perfect balance sheet of your unspoken pain. The Creator recorded every secret tear you dried when no one else was looking in your house. He witnessed your spotless integrity when compromise was the easiest path of escape from the pressure. You have passed the necessary gates of structural preparation. The legal limits of your long winter have officially met their expiration today. The universe has verified your spiritual stamina under the weight of heavy testing. You did not sell your divine birthright for a temporary handful of human validation or coin. You are ready to receive the immense harvest of your inheritance. Think of the long hours of your quiet weeping when you thought you were completely abandoned. You watched your bank accounts decrease while your heavy responsibilities continued to grow. You questioned your own sanity and wondered if the promises of the Creator were just a beautiful delusion of your own imagination. But heaven was scoring your loyalty in the dark. Every single moment of your patience was an investment into the development of your spiritual stamina. The Father allowed the pressure to increase because he was forging an iron weapon for the upcoming battle. You had to learn to find your stability in the silence before you could ever carry the weight of public influence. Your hidden years were your ultimate academy of wisdom. Let us enter the sacred activation of your release act. The old ancestral patterns of lack are standing directly before your awareness right now. They want to maintain their mechanical grip on your neural path by whispering old stories of failure. But their spiritual lease over your family tree has completely expired. Take one real and deep breath into the lowest chambers of your tired lungs. Hold the air completely for 3 seconds to stabilize your internal system. And as you slowly release the air into the room, imagine every negative attachment tethering your mind to their expectations, snapping by sovereign authority. The heavy cords of generational poverty are breaking apart into nothingness right now. The survival anxiety that throttled your creative momentum for decades is losing its energetic connection to your cells. You are shedding the old matrix of frantic striving like a worn garment. The freedom of the kingdom is yours. You are releasing the false burden of growth, guilt. You are no longer responsible for healing the self-inflicted wounds of individuals who choose stagnation. You are dropping their heavy emotional weights into the dust of the past. And you do not owe the old environment an apology for choosing your own elevation. The parasitic drains that exhausted your vital, energetic storehouses for decades are being disconnected completely right now. You are breaking the old code of ancestral codependency that forced your soul to be a permanent mattress for their laziness and complaint. The universe is establishing an unshakable boundary of fire around your precious mental space. You are allowed to say no to their low-vibration emergencies without experiencing a single grain of internal shame. You are allowed to protect the sacred seed of your magnificent future from their constant static of doubt and fear. Your focus is a royal currency that must be invested exclusively in the architecture of your destiny. You are free to expand. The table is cleared completely by the hand of the angels. The people who belong to your winter are remaining in the lower registers of energy behind your back. You are walking away from the country of the overlooked remnant with absolute peace. The gateway to the palace is standing wide open before your eyes. We are moving directly toward the absolute climax of this activation ceremony. Your spirit is ready to ascend to the highest register of unshakable power. Prepare your mind to receive the permanent seal of your true sovereign identity tonight. You are stepping into the fullness of your designated declaration peak. I want you to speak these words inside your heart with the absolute force of a lion. I am the designated cycle breaker of my lineage. I am the authentic truth carrier who cannot be manipulated by illusions. I am the restored child of light, whose authority over my destiny is now active. The long delay is broken permanently by divine decree. The expansion has begun in physical reality during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. I occupy the secure territory that was marked for my feet before the foundation of the world. And no external weapon can alter the trajectory of my sovereign financial redemption. I am commissioned. I am empowered. I am deployed. The storehouses of the Creator are opening their massive gates wide to my daily requests. I am no longer a desperate beggar searching for crumbs in a hostile wilderness environment. I am an ordained heir to the infinite wealth of the sovereign supreme kingdom. The strivings of the human flesh are completely dead and buried. My brain hemispheres are operating in a state of perfect and beautiful synchronization. The intelligence of the higher courts guides my choices and unlocks my paths of provision. I am anchored in the solid rock of absolute unshakable certainty. I speak absolute dissolution over every financial blockage that attempted to throttle your resources during the past 6 months. I command the gates of the infinite kingdom storehouses to open wide to your strategic requests immediately. You are receiving proprietary blueprints that generate sustainable abundance without any human forcing or manipulation. The era of your professional stagnation is completely dead and buried beneath your feet tonight. You are entering the 3-tier progression of total and unshakable restoration. First comes the recovery of your childlike mind of curiosity and wonder. Then comes the opening of your manifestation channel. Finally comes the permanent seal of your calling. Let that profound declaration land heavily into your physical posture right now. Notice the majestic stillness that has established its fortress inside your synchronized system. You have officially reunited with the magnificent child mind heritage that the world attempted to dim when you turned 7 years old. You are an ambassador of light who carries the signature of the Father. The ancestral rules of limitation have lost their energetic power over your awareness. You are operating from a completely clean slate of absolute freedom and grace from this hour forward. The throne room is your only permanent reality. Let the deep silence of this sacred integration breathe for a moment. Do not rush away from the presence of your own awakening. You have completed the primary calibration of your neural and spiritual pathways during this portal. And you are walking out as a completely transformed entity tonight. Understand this unique post-prayer surprise. You are not the same individual who pressed the play button 45 minutes ago. Your old identity was left behind in the cold frost of the winter season. And the person standing at this threshold right now carries the full velocity of an executive breakthrough. We are ready to secure the permanent identity lock. You must confirm this magnificent transaction before the unseen world immediately to manifest the results. If your spirit registers the absolute weight of this sovereign coronation, you must execute the final level 5 commitment statement in the space below. Type the definitive words, "I am ready," with the absolute force of a roaring lion in the comments section to seal this assignment. This physical action is the anchor that locks your expanding awareness into the timeline of the Earth. Your true season requires your active and public acknowledgement before heaven. Your declaration is a legal decree that cannot be reversed by human manipulation. It signals to the matrix of lack that you are no longer available for their exploitation and slavery. It establishes your active coordinates within the global network of the chosen remnant. You are stepping into your visibility. Let your physical like be your silent agreement and your amen without words tonight. Gently press that specific button not for the benefit of this channel, but so this light can bypass the mechanical algorithms to reach another hidden warrior who is currently praying in the deep darkness of their isolation. Your simple action becomes a vehicle of blessing distribution across the planet right now. There is another chosen soul who is sitting on the edge of utter exhaustion. They are wondering if the Creator has forgotten their faithful integrity in the wilderness. Your like sends this beacon directly to their eyes. You are activating your mission parameters as a true messenger of the higher kingdom. You are expanding the unshakable network of light that is transforming this planet during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. Your generosity of focus is the proof that you have outgrown the lower frequency of scarcity and fear. Consider the specialized tool that was brought onto your path to support this neurological realignment. If your spirit registered a deep pull toward the science of hemisphere synchronization, do not ignore that internal direction. The door of provision is open for your inspection before the current portal closes. The information regarding Dr. Barone's neural sync technology is waiting for you in the description and pinned comment below. Remember that your deposit is completely secure under the protection of the ironclad guarantee. Investigate its architecture only if your deepest intuition bears witness to its absolute call. We are ready to deploy the final share action using the strict painted person pattern. I want you to listen with your entire being as a specific face appears in your mind. There is someone in your immediate circle who has been unusually quiet over the past weeks of this challenging seasonal shift. This is an isolated individual who has completely pulled away from everyone in their environment lately. They stop responding to social invitations because they are secretly struggling to explain the deep transformations happening inside their spirit. They look fine on the outside, but you know they are hurting. They are carrying an unspoken weight that they cannot share with ordinary human beings. They are crying out to the Father in the silence of their bedrooms for a clear sign of confirmation. Send this specific message to their device right now through a text or an email without any hesitation or delay. Your sudden obedience is the exact mechanism that breaks their loop of mental paralysis. When they receive this message on their digital device, they will understand that they are not crazy or left behind. They will recognize that their deep sensitivity is the literal raw material of their anointing. You are acting as a reliable instrument of divine stabilization. Receive this final and supreme blessing over your life as you depart from this space. May the sovereign Creator guard your footsteps with a protective wall of divine fire. May the infinite wealth of the kingdom flood your storehouses with perfect precision during June 4th, 5th, and 6th. You are safe. May your mind maintain the deep alpha frequency of absolute peace and crystal clear discernment. May the right opportunities find your exact coordinates in the marketplace without any human striving. And may you walk with the quiet dignity of a monarch who has won the war against lack forever. You are not leaving an ordinary internet message tonight. You are leaving an entire season of survival behind your back for the rest of your life. The old matrix has lost its mechanical authority over your neural pathways. The clean slate is established in reality, and the future is completely yours. Go forth in absolute stillness and absolute power, because the Father has already gone ahead of your footsteps. The waiting room has completely vanished into the background of your faded past. The throne room is the only reality that remains standing before your open eyes. Your season has remembered your name. Let the peace of the kingdom lock your focus into the center line of your true destiny. You are no longer waiting for the shift to arrive, because you are the shift itself. The contract is finalized in the higher courts of glory, and your